the conscious aggression that both sides are bringing to the day.
So Cruiser in the middle. Well, I've not seen that before, where Maxi Gawn just said, "Oh, you got to bounce that again."
I hope that's not the best umpire bounce with the four.
He's not getting a game in the finals. Sorry, Sammy. So Sam Hay throws it up, and Gawn this time. Down beautifully to Jones, who ran onto the footy. Cruiser kept going and sends a long ball down towards full forward. There's a free kick for the Blues. Walker's got it.
Yes, he was looking to get on the lead, and Garland was grappling a little bit, you see here. Well, Walker was making... He actually accentuated it well enough that the umpire had to see it.
That's got to be the perfect start to an afternoon for a forward, Nick.
Yeah, it does, and that's why you're encouraged to put the ball in that area in a dangerous space, because it puts the defenders under pressure and they tend to panic.
So just his 10th game for the season, Andrew Walker, to get the Blues off to a perfect start. He's kicked his 6th for the season. The Blues are away. Well, that was very easy, wasn't it? So just 2 disposals out on the ground. The kick from Walker, the long kick from Cruiser, and Maxi Gawn 1 hit out. Other than that, looks like we haven't started.
But the value of Matthew Cruiser is that he's so good at ground level, his ability to follow up and put the ball in a really dangerous area, find your one-on-one going forward. It's the one time of the game when you know you're going to have one-on-ones in front of the ball.
So Andrew Walker, 4 straight last week, starts with a goal this afternoon. Tutt, Salem in pursuit. Tui, well, Garlett just worked him off the ball in the end, and the little give from Dawes. Back inside, Vince wants Garlett. He's got the speed, but went past the football, had to come back and try and win it. Buckley, a hurried kick into the middle, and here's a chance for Vic Mitchie. Number of leading options, all in red jumpers this afternoon, all ignored at least initially. Long ball, Hogan the target, Jamison. He's got his hands full this afternoon with the youngster.
I found it was interesting. One of the things you'd reckon any team going badly, so we've got to generate enthusiasm. And when Walker kicked the goal, you know, 8 players ran to him. That's when half the team has to run to him to try and generate the enthusiasm. Carlton only had a bit of B grade at that, I thought.
So the battle of the potential rising star winners. Cripps to the outer side, but all demons in the end. Salem received from Garland, wanted cross. Simpson too strong for the old dog on that occasion, and Simpson to space. Who's there first? Walker's got some toe, runs away from Garland, has one. Has he got two? Walker. Quiet.
It makes an enormous difference, doesn't it? They often say, Nick, it's not only the 6 points you get, it's the actual morale boost you get if you kick a goal, rather than the letdown that Carlton have now got because he missed.
It was well done by Simpson then. He did get cross off balance. Interestedly in your point on the enthusiasm, I'll ask you about that in a moment. That was a good mark by McDonald, who has been in good form. Career high 29 touches last week against the Bulldogs. 13 marks, 9 intercept possessions. So he has been in really good form. He's been one of their shining lights. So if there's not enough enthusiasm from your team, do you get the message out there?
Absolutely, you act it. I mean, that'd be the message before the game. Every chance, show some enthusiasm, pat your team on the back, encourage them.
Watts to Mitchie to Salem. That was well done. Good vision. They went to the outer side, and good to see Salem back and with a shot on goal here potentially.
Thanks here. Come around 2 metres.
20th match for the 20-year-old today. His first since round 7, out with the hamstring injury. Must be right on his distance, I reckon. Goes short.
It's amazing, isn't it, when there's a zone set up, they're trying to cover the holes, the Carlton defenders, but one player can just drop into that little bit of usable space.
Yeah, it's sloppy. That's really when you need to be turning your head. It's a bit of a signal as to how switched on you are throughout the game. That's called having your head in the game.
Well, Jack Grimes, not a noted goal kicker, just 8 from his 95 career games. He's played 9 this season, hasn't kicked a goal so far this year. Oh, he has now. It's a 1-point ball game. The D's are on the board too. That was good use from Melbourne from the stoppage. They opened their eyes. They pushed it to the outer side, and then Salem, who did look to be beyond his distance, just held, and then Grimes drifting into the gap. So good start.
Don't often see Grimes lining up in the forward 50. He looks like he's hanging around there for a while.
Yeah, no, I don't think he wasn't a half-back pushing up. He's playing forward 6. Here's the set shot at goal. Set up, just the little hole, and made a hard long-range shot into very gettable.
Couple of key matchups down here, boys. Cross is playing a defensive forward role on Simpson. He's obviously the creator across half-back. Carrazzo going everywhere with Jones. Hard tag.
So Viney shoulder to shoulder with Murphy. Wiley, he finds Murphy, who just got the separation. Viney went looking for the football. Well done, Howe. Some conjecture as to where he will be next year. Wide ball for Viv Michi. Over the top, got a running Lumumba at full stretch. Walker's going to close. Lumumba takes him on, drops ahead, gets rid of the football. Michi tackled in the end, brought to the ground by Boakhurst, got rid of the ball by the hand. Now Wiley runs into a bit of trouble, loses his feet.
There are Etihad players and there are MCG players, aren't there? Lumumba just looks more naturally suited to the MCG, Nick.
Yeah, he does. I mean, that's when he's at his best, when he takes off. And he read that really early. He saw that Melbourne had won the footy, took off. Just a shame the handball missed him.
So Boakhurst, the skipper, gets some support in the end from Matthew Dick Murphy, and now to half forward. No one really at home. A one-on-one. McDonald wins out easily in the end against Jackson. Pick up not forthcoming. Lumumba found Harms, and then suddenly Murphy intercepted to full forward right spot Watson. He's in for Levi Casbolt, and the Blues can get their second.
Quite often when you create that turnover inside the forward 50, you're going to score as a result. And that was just terrific pressure around the footy from Carlton. Murphy was good enough to read it, get an intercept. I'm not sure whether he's going for goal, but you play in front as a forward, and quite often you find the ball landing in your lap like that.
He did as a forward should. Read the kick. Teammates kick better than the defender.
So Watson's second game for the year, first goal. Blues have got a couple, lead by 7.
Position player Watson. He's always look a little bit short for key position and not really mobile enough to be a flanker type player. So he's bobbled around Carlton for a few years now. Sometimes he's played out of defence. Sometimes he's had to go up forward. He kicks the ball well, but I guess you've got to get it before you can kick it. And on that basis, today he's got a chance in the forward line.
He's never looked key position size, you're right, Lee, with Matthew Watson, but he's listed at 195, 103 kilos.
Doesn't look that big, doesn't look
taller
that tall.
Taller than Pavlich, taller than Brown.
It's interesting, we talked about Hogan and Cripps at the start of the broadcast. There's only 2 centimetres between them. Cripps 193, Hogan 195, and you mentioned Pavlich, he's 192. So if the 3 of them were in a line, Pavlich would be the shortest of that trio. Chris Judd, who we saw just before the start of the game, he changed all of that, didn't he? The big, tall midfielders, Cruiser now and Gawn. So a good battle between those two to start this game. Newton.
Maybe that's why they've shoved me up to the wing, Basil.
That really changes the game. Gawn's second attempt, he got it towards the boundary line. Carrazzo waiting for the footy. Tutt close to the line. Into the pocket. Here he is again, Watson. He had 3 to beat.
Lyndon Dunn, according to the records, 192 centimetres. As you say, Matthew Watson is 195. I would doubt those figures. Not the Matthew Watson. He doesn't look 195 centimetres, does he? That's your height, isn't it, Nick?
I'm 193.
Well,
there is no way Matthew Watson is 2 centimetres higher than you, Rui.
I think blokes tend to pump up their stats a little bit in the record.
Maxie, get the tape measure out at quarter time.
Well, ever since you mentioned his height, I just keep looking down the records in disbelief. Dick to Cruiser.
It was a great kick that. He just drew the lead. Cruiser had position on McDonald, but the kick really drew him into the space. So that's what you want as a forward. Quite often, if you lead too early, you chew up all your space. You end up having a shot from 55 or 60, but he just held and waited for the kick to draw him in, and Now he's having a makeable shot.
If you think there's only 5 centimetres between Watson and Cruiser, then you haven't seen them back-to-back before. So Cruiser for the Blues third. Well, that was sweet off the boot. Drew it back a little and split the middle.
I wonder then how they get them wrong, home. Are they supplied?
I think it's an honesty system.
Yeah. Well, actually, Nick's down near Matthew Watson. Nick, we were just talking about it. You heard us. Do you think he's anywhere near 195 centimetres? No, he's not going to.
No, he's getting the tape measure ready.
Come back in a minute.
He wants his best guess, Lee. So
anyway, good start by Carlton. I mean, both sides had really poor weeks last week, but Carlton have got the early momentum.
Well, we see the ruckman pushing forward and kicking a nice goal. They've started really well around the ball. Carlton contested possession 12-6, clearances 6-2, and tackles 7-zip. So their midfielder's really on top. Bernie Vince is tagging Cripps, so great respect for Cripps.
Sammy Rowe now in the middle having a go, and there is Cripps. Curnow missed with the boot. Well done by Gawn again. He got it back to Howe, and now Billy Stretch. What a great name it is. Love that name, hey. Hogan not quite the mark. He gets another opportunity. Stretch. Carazzo met him hard. Stretch a third time. Maybe the free kick. Menzel over the top. Well, I don't think Menzel's free is the one they've called. I reckon it was Carazzo in the end. So anyway, same result.
Lethal, you would have played against Billy's old man, wouldn't you, at times? Stephen Stretch, or just missed it?
Yes, probably he's the end of his start of his career would have been the end of mine. I'm trying to think what years he actually played. He mostly played after I'd finished.
McDonald, he drives the ball to the outer side. The mark missed by Harms, but he get another go here. Salem's been lively. He pops it up to a dangerous spot, and Watts, good grab. Not quite in the hands, mostly in the hands, onto the chest. Good start.
Well, that's what he was recruited as, that key forward. That was all his under-18 vision, was that those sort of plays, coming out as a forward and taking the ball in front of his face. So he's had a pretty good year up in the midfield, Jack. He cops a lot of criticism, but he's definitely taken a step forward with his career this year.
2013, he kicked 22 goals, 13 last season, only 8 this year. So, as we know, he spent more time outside the forward 50. Is this his best spot, inside 50?
Oh, I think a combination. I think having that flexibility, you need it within your team. So if he can pinch hit forward, kick some goals and contribute through the midfield.
6-2 from set shots this year, and it's now 6-3. So that's a bad miss from Jack.
You look at the great teams like Hawthorn, they've got guys that can play everywhere. So I think every team needs at least 3 or 4 of them.
Salem was again the demon that found a target inside 50. Hit Grimes initially, on that occasion Watts let him down with a set shot, but they look a better side already with Christian Salem finding targets. The Blues bring it back to the members' side of the cricket ground. This time Rowe at half-back, Garlett jumping up and down. Now to Tutt. So Tutt thought about Jacks. Yeah, Cross couldn't quite. Will come back. Blues will get the free kick. The Demons are off to the races. Murphy to Tutt. Interesting story. Delisted himself, ends up a Blue. Now to half forward. Bernie Vince and Cripps together. That's a tip of the hat to Cripps from Paul Roos. Vince. Well, dangerous kick, worked out perfectly. Had to be absolutely ideal, the kick, and it was to Garland. Now to Watts. Missed a set shot moments ago. Finds himself defensive side of the wing. Gets a free kick.
Did well there to win the free kick. Bell, it was against, a little unlucky. Brayshaw needed to be quick. Simpson was closing in on him. Hogan inside 50. And he's certainly a chance here, although he initially looked to want to lay off. Jeffy Garlett telling him what to do, and that is go for goal.
He's done this really well all year, Jesse Hogan. He gets the defender right up the ground, and then his work ethic just kicks in and he beats them on the way back. And it was great ball use from Melbourne. The kick from Watts was a beauty to get it inside, and Brayshaw was looking for his mate. They'll play a lot of footy together, those two.
Sure, well, he's kicked 15 goals in the last 5 weeks. Not this time. It drifts across the face, and in fact doesn't cross the line. Good mark, Cruiser, defensively. He's getting back towards the sort of footy I think everybody expected from Cruiser.
If he stays uninjured, he's going to be... Oh, that's a poor kick, though.
They weren't expecting that, that's for sure. Daniel Cross, I don't think, was expecting it. And in the end,
Cruiser, if he remains fit and well, he can be a real weapon. And I think he's got to be the ruckman. They've always sort of had a ruckman because he's got a chance of playing key position, but I think the ruck position is where he could be the most dominant.
tackles 8-1 in favour of the Blues, Hayne.
They've been aggressive early. Well, it does pop out in the end. Vince, quick as a flash to Gawn. Now a chance for Jones. Got it away. Bell was doing the attacking stretch. Went back to half forward. Ends up with Grimes. Already kicked a goal this afternoon. Now Garland. His shot is offline. Hogan sees it sail over. No score at all.
Yeah, let him have it. Let him have it. Let him. Yeah.
So we know Paul Roos has got another year. And then he hands the keys to Simon Goodwin. What awaits John Barker? The rumour mill strong that Brendan Bolton will be sitting in
Thanks, Jack.
the big chair next year.
Some saying, Hayne, the announcement could be as early as tomorrow or Tuesday.
You.
Okay, so Matthew Dick, low percentage ball, wanted Tui. Simpson under pressure immediately. Harms almost got his hands on the football. Kicked away through the middle of the ground. They come. Here's Wiley. Got a couple of runners on the outer side. They're all ignored for the moment. To half forward the ball goes. Here's Walker. Already got one. He'll be searching for two.
Those fortune favours are brave. That kick from the back pocket to centre half back's a dangerous kick, and it looked like it was going to be turned over. But then just the kick off the ground, got it into the centre square, and from that point onwards, then the Melbourne defence was, and we saw a good shot of it from behind the goals. As soon as that kick off the ground from centre half back, I think it was from Simpson, then set up this opportunity.
So the Blues have got 3-1 already this afternoon. Walker has 1-1. Outstanding. Walker's got a couple. Blues by 3 goals. Who's been a terrific servant for a long time. Debuted all the way back in 2004. But he has been let down by his body in recent times. His knee has started to give way. They're a much better side with Andrew Walker in the lineup. So a couple of goals already for the afternoon. 4 last week in his second game back after missing 5 with a knee and a week in the VFL.
Well, how about this? Chris Yarran and Eddie Betts.
Betts having a visit with the old team.
Yeah, well, actually, it's a navy jumper that he's got, or a jacket. It almost looks like the old Carlton top.
I would think paying tribute to Chris Judd.
I would think so, and that's terrific, isn't it? Obviously, massive respect for their former captain. So Viney slipped over at just the wrong time. Brayshaw, that was terrific. Ferocious bullocking football against Mark Murphy. Almost Watts. He would have completed a beautiful passage of play from the future of Melbourne right there. But they've done well to tie it up inside 50. So I need an answer here.
They've just been a bit fumbly, Melbourne. You notice fumbles so much because the modern player rarely fumbles. I mean, they'll turn the ball over, but the ball skills to take possession first field is almost 100%. So Melbourne have just had 2 or 3 fumbles, and they so often create turnovers.
Interesting, Jack's there winning the free kick. Is another one of those GWS key position first-round draft picks that a club's been able to prize away. You just wonder what sort of other talent they've got up there that other clubs are going to go after.
He saw so little action. He was hardly able to break into the side. 7 games over 2 years.
Everett to Watson, and then down the line, Cruiser. He's looking dangerous today. Looking really good. The D's have done well here. They've worked it to Lyndon Dunn, Grimes, Jones, and now Howe across the midfield. It was an awkward bounce. It was always going to be about the bounce, and it just didn't sit well. Murphy ends up with it. Cripps, after Tutt won it and gave it to Rowe. And now Tui's kick inside 50. Everett over the top. Still alive here. Well done in the end by McDonald. Handball, Vince, not good. Viney, bad combination. It went to the wrong man, and then the handball came out, and Bell wins the free kick.
That bounced the ball on the wing. I believe in the footy gods, and the footy gods aren't with Melbourne at this early stage, because the oval ball can have all these kind of unusual bounces, and the Melbourne possession went to Carlton. Then they've maintained possession.
It's on it.
Got used to seeing that, haven't we? Coach just leaning back, arms folded. So a couple of poor decisions. And it gives the Blues here an opportunity for their 5th goal in the opening term. Well, that's a terrible kick from there. Didn't even register a score.
Lee, there's a few indicators you look for. 11 tackles, the Blues, just 2 to the Demons in 20 minutes of footy.
No, well, that's why Carlton have scored their 4 goals. The Melbourne pressure on the Carlton ball carrier has been quite poor to this point.
Well, ambitious kick in the end from Grimes to Garland. Doesn't come unstuck completely, but certainly low percentage ball. So the Blues, so disappointing against the Lions last weekend. The Demons are thumping at the hands of the Dogs. Newton through the middle. Here's a chance for Mitchie. So the former Port power play to the former Docker. Mitchie runs into trouble, just got the kick away, and in the end, a bit of luck. Found the chest of Lyndon Dunn. Now to Garland. He's just used his body well against Buckley, but the boundary line, it'll beat Chris Dawes.
Go in, go in, go in.
Been an interesting player, Dylan Buckley. Of course, his father Jim, of course, played for Carlton in their premiership years. You sort of watch him a little bit more than just the average player. He's quick, he can run with the ball. I think his defensive ability to play that small defensive role has improved also.
So Cruiser spirals the ball to the wing. Lyndon Dunn, he and Watson go at each other. Dunn got hold of the football, then Watson got hold of him, illegally so.
Lyndon Dunn.
Grimes has got a paddock in front of him, and he starts to canter through the middle of the MCG. Past the circles now, the deep ball inside 50 again. Hogan, one hand. Oh, he's such a talent. He only had one hand to work with, and that is all he needed. Interestingly, when you have a look at him, Nick, with this set shot, he looks for a long time like he's going to kick on the left, then brings it back onto the right side.
Got the little skip too, hasn't
Just here.
Yeah, that's strange.
And then back to the right.
Don't think that's out of the manual. Don't think you'd teach anyone that technique, but
No, they always,
usually works okay.
They always say don't copy a freak, though, and he's got that freakish ability early on in his career. You just wonder whether we're seeing the start of one of the really great forward careers. He's got all the tricks. He works hard. He's going to be a great player for a long time.
Like trying to copy Jim Furyk's golf swing.
No, possible. Simpson did well there to win the footy. It wasn't an easy one to win, and he used Doherty cleverly and then got the ball back over the line.
Even Buddy's got the idiosyncrasy with the bit of the arc. So if you're onto something and it's working for you, stick with it.
Josh
When you look at him, Nick, are you thinking he might be as good as we've seen for a while?
Yeah, look, I think so. I think what he's able to do at such a young age in a team that has struggled at times this year has been really special. So when he starts to get some really good quality use, they start to go inside, 50, 60 times a game rather than 40, then look out.
Grimes looked to be taken by Wiley when he didn't have the football, but umpire waved them on. That one, no doubt. Dawes definitely getting Murphy high.
Bigger player, smaller player, and Murphy played it well. He just dropped the body height a little.
Well, that not so well played by Buckley. Dropped what he should have taken. He was lucky that the ball spilt forward. So Carazzo, Curnow, high ball, good mark out in front. Doing well, McDonald. Really good defensive grab.
Boys, Menzel's in big trouble with the left shoulder behind play.
That is bad luck. Harms, Lyndon Dunn, keep us posted, Maxi. Through the middle, that's good work. Here they are now. Stretches kick. Might stretch the defence here. Hogan up in front, didn't quite mark. Bell the recovery. Can get it across to Simpson. Held it a long time. Used Tutt instead, and they might come out. Broadcast side of the ground. A kick into space. Kick's okay. Everett then looks up inside 50. One-on-one, Bokhorst couldn't quite mark. He did pretty well against McDonald. He was out, muscled, kept alive, and then Cripps off the ground. Kicks Carlton's 5th. Well, that was almost out of nothing. They looked out-muscled in the marking contest. Certainly was an unlikely pairing, Bokhorst and McDonald. Once it hit the deck, you thought, well, they might be all right here, the D's, but Cripps from nowhere got the slipper to the ball. 5 now, 5-1-1-2. Really good start by the Blues.
Ends up being a goal out of nothing, but if you drop the ball 15 metres out straight in front, an offensive team gets a kick off the ground, snapshot, it's an open goal. So they at least went to the dangerous area if you're going to go to a contest.
Menzel's gone down the rooms, boys, with that left shoulder, gone down with the doctor.
Thanks, Maxie. So Cripps gets just the 5th goal of his 21-game career. Hasn't been a big goal kicker. However, he has been inaccurate. So 4 goals, 12 coming into this afternoon. A major and an unlikely one. Newton spiralling ball forward again. This time Hogan again with one hand. Not able to take it. Rowe under pressure. Happy to go short to Buckley. And Buckley wants to buy some territory. Well done, Viv Mitchie. Stood up. Who's offering something? The top of the square. Well, Hogan just caught the hind row on this occasion. Off the shin to Wiley. Happy to mop up. Garlett missed the tackle. Over the top. Jacks waited a while. Then the gift to Buckley. Well, suddenly the Blues have got some space and numbers running from halfback. Curnow provides another option. Murphy chooses to go further afield. Andrew Walker. A couple of goals already for Walker this afternoon. Watson. One hand. Watson. The late in. He's got a goal too. The Blues, they've got 5. They lead it by 23. Minute left in the first term. Cruiser. Everett out the back.
Gee, that's a nice grab, isn't it? The two ruckmen actually were standing under the footies. He got the run and the leap, but you've got to time the leap, and you've got to be able to make it stick. That's a nice mark.
So Andreas Everett, what a career it has been. It has meandered through different clubs, and he may end up this year as the Blues' leading goal scorer. He's kicked the Blues 6th for the first term, and they skip out to a healthy 29-point lead.
Well, the answer to the first question, who's going to come off the bad loss the best? It's clearly Carlton have come out with a little bit of a sort of aggression at the footy, aggression at the contest, prepared to take chances, move the footy. Melbourne are the ones that have been reactive and therefore have got now a reasonable deficit on the scoreboard.
So their second best opening term of the season now, and well, worrying signs for the D's, Nick.
Yeah, it is, and I think it's the midfield. Jones has only had the 4 possessions, Vince the 3. We know Vince is running with Cripps, but he's really been one of Melbourne's major ball winners. You wonder if you don't free him up, maybe give someone else a job on Cripps and allow Vince to start to have an impact and win the footy.
Tui thumping kick. Cruiser playing really well. Watson off the deck.
If that had gone through, we know for a fact the footy gods are with Carlton.
6-2, 1-2. Everett, great mark just before with that last goal. He hung in the air a long time.
Saw Cruiser, second effort outstanding. Only Murphy has had the ball more times for the Blues than Cruiser. So very disappointing first term if you barrack for the Demons. For the Blues, pretty exciting stuff. Walker got a couple. Watson, Cruiser, Cripps and Everett. They lead at quarter time by 5 goals. 6-2, plays 1-2.
I'd expect them to give a bit of a yelp here. They were poor in the opening term.
Carlton, Cruiser.
Cruiser dominating at the moment. That time a Shepherd against Gorner. A block, it was called by the umpire. High ball inside 50. Everett's jumping over everything at the moment. Looks terrific. That ball was moving nowhere. A stalemate.
Boys, Menzel's back on the bench with that left shoulder strapped. They said it's a minor AC joint, but he'll be right.
So Wiley at the back was, well, he was first man up, trying to be third man up, if that makes sense. Vince gathers the footy, kicks towards the outer side. Dawes and Rowe. Rowe played that well. Ball now across for Doherty. That handball made it hard for Murphy, but Murphy did well. Got away from Harms. Kick inside 50, drifting across. Cross, and knocks it over the line.
Come down. To the side, Sammy.
So Menzel with tape on the knee and now the shoulder, as you heard Nick Maxwell say. Minor AC. Some bodies just seem to cope well with this game. Others let the player down too often.
Yeah, you'd love to see him get a run at it. He's a really talented guy, but injuries have played far too big a role in his career so far.
Murphy looked to be taken high. Umpire didn't agree. So Viney, bred to be tough. Cruiser and Gawn. Wiley the beneficiary of the tap. Murphy quickly. He was on the back foot as he kicked. Going with the ball was Bell. Cross did enough to see it over.
Good play by Bell. When you're coming back with a fly to the ball, it's really hard just not to give away a free kick, but he turned his body, kept his eyes on the footy, and it just makes it a draw and a stoppage.
So 2 tackles for the Demons already in this term, only 5 for the opening term. Cruiser, little give was terrific to Bell. Took on a lot of the Demons and in the end got the kick away. It won't work out though for the Blues. Viv Michie to half-back. Here is Grimes, the lone goal scorer for the Demons. Viney cruises on past, quickly to cross to the wing on the outer side. Short ball is on. Out of position was Dawes. Rowe, but front spot did well. Stepped off his line, called to play on. Back it goes to Simpson, well, or Jamison, and well, Garlett. That was pretty agricultural.
It's been good row. He's actually been prepared to take the front position and come and meet the footy rather than just concern himself with his opponent's positioning.
Garlett just sort of jumped on the back of Jamison like a younger brother does the older brother. Grabbed him around the neck. The result, a free kick.
Boys, Matty Cruz is the one who's right on top. 9 disposals and a goal, 5 clearances. Max Gawn just the 1 handball.
After Gawn's been so good, Maxie, that's a key matchup in this match. Viney had it for a while. Tutt now. It was interesting by Cripps, wasn't it? So ferocious, the pressure on him. He was still able to get his kick out. Bell came with a big run, Grimes. And now Michie sends the ball towards Hogan. Got his hands to it, couldn't mark Dawes. Simpson just there a little quicker, and Harms has taken him without the footy. So Hogan played on, did he?
He had to have heard the whistle.
Yeah, well, we heard it.
He was hoping it was just a play on advantage rule free kick.
I reckon Mum would have heard it, and she lives in Mirragara.
No doubt about the free. So Hogan, the exuberance of youth, he played on, kicked the goal. Unfortunately, he's cost them 50. And they can't get the footy back now.
Could be one of the others.
Well, I think... Oh, there we go.
Took a while to...
So they've topped up the spare, and Simpson's free.
Carlton have pulled all the Melbourne players into a line out here, so you'd expect some breakers to the space.
Doherty quickly moves it on, out of sight. Boakhurst leaves Stretch to the ball. Stretch, quick recovery. And again, ball cruel for Demons fans. Stretch, second, third effort, okay. He holds it up, bit of help from Howe, but somehow Boakhurst emerges with the football. Thumps it low, wants Watson in the end. Dunn just muscles his way to the football. Boakhurst took a number of the Demons on and won.
They did it really well, the Blues. It takes a bit of coordination out on the ground to organise that sort of set play, but they're all on the same page, which is a good sign.
Gone to Viney, Viney to Dawes. Dawes, well, terrible stuff in the end. Found Doherty to Simpson, now to Tui. Normally a beautiful user of the football. Well, that was outstanding to Walker. The leading forward couldn't ask to be delivered a ball any better than that. Big fly again, this time from Everett, couldn't quite. Cruiser, hurried ball, not accurate, tumbles over.
I can't remember seeing Everett leap like this. He's really jumping at everything.
He'll have a go at the jump. That's when I think one of the facets of his game that has always been there.
Jack and Menzel on the bench. Here's Cripps. Bends it around, not far enough, Watson. Well done, Lyndon Dunn. Kept his eye on the footy. They're never easy to mark those. Swirling, high, Sunner factor. Did well. So takes off right down the middle and then kicks back towards what would have been the easy play. McDonald had to wait for that. Simpson was there. Now over the footy, Dick. Up it'll come again. So if they responded a little here, you think, Nick?
Well, clearly they have. They've had the 8 tackles already this quarter, up from 5 in the first quarter. So that's just a sign of intent. The game seems to be a lot more competitive in around the stoppages, which is where Carlton was really dominant in the first quarter. It's important that they hold on here too. I mean, another couple goals to Carlton and the game almost gets beyond their reach.
Cruiser, clever slap back inside, almost found Carazzo. Almost a pass in the end from Dick. He just sort of handed it around the corner.
Clever Dick.
I was disappointed Smith was out. I was hoping Dick and Smith would be combining at some point this afternoon. One of the great Australians, Dick Smith. Not to be. So Watts finds himself defending for the Demons. Might be a long afternoon for that defensive unit. Pick up good from Harms. Well, again, a turnover. This time Simpson has it kicked in his direction and gets 50.
The umpire's just a bit more conscious of players running over the mark when they're trying to cut down that 45-degree angle, that they don't go encroach forward. New 50-metre penalties this round for that defence.
We saw 6 yesterday, and they've tightened up on that interpretation for sure.
Jack, 1 metre, 1 metre, Jack, 1 metre. That's it.
Well, perfect from Simpson to Murphy. Murphy not quite so perfect. So Viv Michie intercepts former Docker. The Dockers lost earlier today against the Kangaroos, so back-to-back losses for Fremantle. Cross. Well, this looks dangerous. Cripps back inside. They've got a number of Blues around the ball at the moment. Boakhurst. Newton was a tackler. Somehow got boot to ball. Still, the Blues have got numbers. Rowe. Tumbling sort of a ball. Lumumba. Well, McDonald taken high by Walker.
Tom McDonald here.
Trying to fly from the back position, which is what Everett is doing at the moment. But you've got to get to the front on the majority of occasions.
So Brayshaw receives from McDonald, gives to Dawes. Long ball, Grimes, long wait, Simpson. Crumbs, then tackled immediately, taken to ground. He does enough, I think, not to be pinged.
He did a great job there, Simpson. He's been such a good player for a long time. Takes a lot of courage to come back with a fly like that and just halve the contest. You don't have to win it, but just get another stoppage for your team to set up.
You see, it was a right ankle there with Lumumba in that marking contest, so coming off now.
Grimes, penetrating ball, won't get the distance. Gawn just knocks it down. Competes well. Who's at the follow ball for the Demons? Tui first there. Buckley keeps his head, did well, didn't blaze away. Doherty now goes for distance. Curnow, Salem.
No. Back around here, Melbourne kick. Back around here.
Well, Salem's free kick. Rare opportunity for the Demons.
So he's beyond his distance, as we know. We saw other end of the ground in the first term. He just laid one off, and this time just pops it up for Hogan, who will get a good fly. Protection from Gawn, and then Gawn probably at the last moment tried to mark, and I think that cost Hogan the mark. He had done perfectly, the big man Gawn, and then in the end just probably a little too exuberant. Clearing kick from Tutt. Cross can send them back in again. So a high ball. Gawn this time gets another attempt. Well done, Bell. Stood up in front. Never easy. Up it comes again.
Melbourne are down to 1 on the bench here with Nathan Jones, because Lumumba's actually gone down the rooms, and Garland is also being attended to by the doctor.
Yeah, I think Gawn pulled it out of his hands. You're right, Basil.
1 metre, Chris.
Gawn providing plenty of contest in the air. Dawes. Well, the tackle from Rowe just held onto the right arm, didn't give Dawes any opportunity.
Come out. Okay, take him out. Thank you.
So Sam Rowe, a couple of one-on-ones. All 4 players come together. Watson and Doherty will take on both Dunn and Newton. Somehow Doherty got back in on the contest. So the tackle, illegal. Menzel back on the ground, has his shoulder taped. Curnow always has his taped. Howe, McDonald, Viney, back inside, Salem. Howe again. Well, ordinary sort of a ball. Tutt took it cleanly. Just needs to find a target. He'll find one now. Beautiful ball. Outstanding. Everett He waited a while, little fumble. Now can he go back and make a certainty of it and bring up his second?
You have the courage to go outside inboard, but if you turn it over, that's the problem. And Melbourne now can't go back into their shell and say, well, I've turned it over, let's not go there again, because that's the way you score. I thought the decision was okay, just the execution was wrong.
That's right, spot on. So the challenge now for the leaders is to get over and make sure that that player doesn't become conservative. You want them to keep going for their kicks.
So Everett, 1 for the afternoon, 27 for the year. Make it 28. Leading goal scorer for the Blues. They've got 7 and lead by 6 goals.
That was an important goal because Melbourne had stabilised it for this first 10 minutes or so of this second quarter. They just at least had stopped Carlton scoring. They had a couple of opportunities in their part of the field, but couldn't take advantage of it. And now Carlton have got that morale booster. And again, a 6-goal lead is always significant, even this early in the game.
Carlton have kicked 7 goals to 1. We were worried about their goal-kicking ability before the game. Their leading goal scorers from 2010 to 2015. Garlett, 171 now at Melbourne. Betts, 167. Waite, 135. And Henderson, 101. All 4 players, effectively, with Henderson going elsewhere, at different clubs, which is remarkable. And Carlton, before today, had kicked 192 goals for the season. Ex-Blues, Josh Kennedy, Betts, Garlett and Waite had kicked 180 between them. But no worries so far. They're finding goal kickers again. Dick got it back to Bell. Curnow. They've worked it back to Rowe. That was well done. Doherty involved. Simpson now. We thought goal kickers didn't grow on trees. Menzel. So terrific to see him back out there. His kick not great. Rowe had to wait. Or rather, Jamison had to wait. Hogan was closing. Well done, Menzel. His kick not much better, to be honest, but there's enough space. Doherty inside defensive 50. Still prepared to take the risk to Tui. So this is better defense from the D's. Worked right back. Man apiece all over the ground now. High ball, Cruiser. Terrific mark in front. That was great by Cross.
Hasn't missed a game this year, Cross, for the Demons. He's been terrific since coming from the kennel. Now an ugly sort of a ball for Tutt to deal with. Read it well. High up and under. Cruiser will get support from Watson, who just leaps over. And suddenly can set the Blues away again. Max, he's running past you now, Matthew Watson. Is he 195?
I reckon about 192, 193. I've played on him before. He's about the same height as me, and I'm about the same as Rue.
Okay. McDonald, well, stolen by Walker. Here's an opportunity. The vision just unbelievable. And Cruiser will waltz on in at the punt road end. The Blues have got 8. Well done, Andrew Walker. Stole it beautifully, Walker, and then the vision, first class. On the left boot, saw Cruiser out of the corner of his eye. The kick was perfect, and Cruiser gifted a goal.
He's been very good recently, Max Gawn, but today the following part of the ruck contest, he's okay in the ruck contest, but in the round-the-ground movement, he's been dropped off. Cruiser's been dominating.
Great tackle here, but more importantly, Matty Cruiser is up and flying. He's had 11 disposals. This is his second goal, but it all comes down to his work rate. He worked from wing to wing and then forward from there. Ran about 300 metres. Great work rate from the big fella.
It's great to see him in operation and injury-free finally. Cripps, he had a hand in that one as well. Everett, who's been a real live wire on the forward line, this time a lot further from home. Kicks to an outnumbered situation here. Watts. Little flamboyant, perhaps in a dangerous situation. Across to Cross. And his kick also dangerous. Wiley marks. Well, Paul Roos, if he was unhappy before, he's going to hate
I don't think he was trying to kick it back into the centre corridor. That was just a poor kick. He's on his left side. Just kicked it, Paul. Have a look here, and it just really fell in Wiley's arms.
And they're inspired, Carlton. You can see the positive affirmation, the positive reward for the work that they're putting in it. You just tend to feed on it, and that's what momentum in footy is all about, and they're making the most of it at the moment.
So Mark Wiley to become the Blues' 6th goal kicker of the afternoon for his first. And what would have been 9 for the Blues. That was a bad effort.
Didn't kick that like he had many shots at goal. He really just looked like the whole occasion. Chills a stilted run up, didn't get any momentum, didn't get any fluency through the ball at all.
So done with a long ball. Garland gone in support. Mensley ends up with the football. Fired the ball to Doherty. He fumbled. In the end, McDonald picked it up. Quick dish off. Mitchie to the wing. Couple of Blues will good easily against Salem. So Jamison had support from Tui. And he goes back to the skipper towards the boundary line. The Blues have been doing it comfortably so far this afternoon. 7-goal leaders. And they are without Levi Casbolt, Bryce Gibbs, Chris Judd and co. The Demons need to find something very soon, or it looks like it's going to be 2 very ordinary weeks back to back. It is not a way to respond to a thumping.
Just wonder whether it's time to free Bernie Vince up. I still think he's the guy that can really get them going. He's been going to Patrick Cripps. Cripps is winning it anyway. We know Jones is copping the heavy tag, so maybe Jones makes a 2v1v Cripps and Vince can get on the end of a few.
You got to do something different, don't you? I mean, when the scoreboard starts to sink like it is for Melbourne, you've just got to change. Whatever your pre-game plans need to be changed. Give something else a go.
There seems so little energy leave from the Demons.
Yeah, well, a lot of things are looking substandard at this point.
And the Blues, conversely, look quick, which wasn't the case at all last week against the Lions. Watson disappointed, outmarked easily by Watts. So McDonald, he's defended resolutely all year. It has been an area of the ground that has been under siege for the Demons.
Name 8 Melbourne players haven't touched the ball this quarter, including Nathan Jones. That's a damning stat, isn't it?
Yeah, Carazzo's doing a good job in that matchup.
Just 4 for the afternoon for Nathan Jones, and only 6 scoring shots on what is an absolutely glorious Melbourne day. Hard to believe they're 1-2 only the D's against Carlton. Remembering, of course, Melbourne 14th, Carlton 18th.
I think that's where you need to ask some questions of Carlton. So if Carazzo's following Jones everywhere, well then Jones, go and play on Murphy or go and play on Cripps and see if Carazzo wants to keep following you around. All of a sudden you've got a spare player somewhere else. Stretch
To cross. Now Grimes, who's their only goal kicker. He runs into trouble and is holding the ball. I think he was trying to change direction. He slipped a little. Kick out for Everett. It was going to be tough on the half volley. Stretch. He's tried hard today. The ball will come up again about 52 metres out from the Carlton goals. They're doing all the attacking. They look impressive. Their youngsters look keener.
And they're also winning the tackle count 32-19.
And Cruz has been a dominant force, as you've said, Nick.
Well, Vince is up seemingly now on the Murphy matchup around the middle of the ground, so at least they're trying. I think because they were using Cripps a little bit deeper forward and making Vince virtually play as a defender. That was working quite well for Carlton.
Brayshaw, Doherty. Doherty gets a fist onto the ball. Tui, terrific quick give to Curnow. Now Jacks has to beat McDonald, but McDonald too strong. Read it well to Garland. And now to Grimes, who started the match in the forward 50, back in more familiar surrounds. It's a Stretch. Runs away from Tutt, now to Newton. Harms, Salem, 3 Blues, just the 2 Demons, and again the Blues win out. So Simpson sees Watson on the lead, leads Dunn to the ball. Just too easy at the moment for the Blues. The side coming off 7 losses in a row and a 10-goal thumping at the hands of the Lions. Look a much better side.
And Dave's just telling me that Melbourne have only had 7 disposals inside their half of the ground in this quarter. No disposals inside their attacking 50.
Boys, Lumumba's been off for 12 minutes now, still hasn't come back to the bench.
Well, it's a shellacking. All the numbers and all the scoring going Carlton's way. Newton's handball. Ricocheted back now. Tui's a chance here. Gives it to Murphy. He runs away from Brayshaw. That was really good from the skipper. A couple of bounces on a day when the former skipper was honoured. Long ball down to Walker. Gets the free. It's kick two. He'll kick for his third. Carlton's ninth. Paul Roos watches on, helpless from where he is.
Well, the day that they honour the previous skipper, that looked like the previous skipper there, Mark Murphy, breaking away. That was Chris Judd at his best, wasn't it? Breaking out of stoppage, and it just shows the value of being able to break through a line. You're able to penetrate that much more deeply into the forward line, and it was a great decision. Walker playing in front, got the free.
Interesting that Brayshaw, promising player, but he ran away from him. Walker 4 last week. He's got 3 here now. And Carlton's lead out to 48 points.
Yes, it's been an amazing first half, hasn't it? I mean, one of the things you talk, Nick, isn't it? The guys who can actually run and carry the footy. Melbourne are struggling to have anyone who might be able to get the footy and run 20 metres with it to have the speed to break into space. Murphy, I guess, is one who's got those capabilities. Sometimes Simpson has done, but Melbourne are struggling to get one of that type.
Yeah, they've really struggled to just get their hands on it at all this quarter.
Three goals before half-time. It's a good return for Walker. He's been dangerous.
Boys, Lumumba's out of the game. Neil Bullen has taken the vest off, so he'll come in.
Well, Grimes got the Demons' first goal, the second of the match. That was at the 4-minute mark. Since then, they have not looked likely. 8 goals in a row to the Blues. Mitchie, who's there for the Demons. Harms, Tui, in the end, off a couple of sets of hands into Curnows. Now Matthew Dick, hurried sort of a ball. Here's a chance for Newton. He lines up, straightens up offline. Well, it has all the hallmarks of a seriously ugly afternoon for the Demons.
It's hard to believe, isn't it, Haim? In these conditions, it shouldn't be this one-sided. And Melbourne haven't been brilliant, but their best this season has been much better than this. And I think that's been the difference, Lee. The gap between their acceptable performances and their poor performances has been huge.
Yeah, well, they're in the bottom 6. They've won half a dozen games, so that's they've been reasonable, and yes, played some good games. But last week and this week, the last 2 times we've seen them play, they haven't produced at all.
Well, Lee, the ridiculous stat within the 6 wins, they've beaten Richmond, the Western Bulldogs, Geelong and Collingwood.
Dick ran into a bit of trouble. Now Curnows had a couple of disposals. Salem did well. He got a hand in there. Tui didn't quite get to him. Howe's handball. It was a handball. Tui. Now Buckley. Can he run away from Dawes? He kept the footy in front of him. Cross still with some work to do. Back to Grimes. Everett got him by the hand. He affected all of this. Well done. Cripps now inside 50. Watson. He's got Dunn to beat. Watson paddling the ball back. He's done well. Dunn's strength in the end got around him and over the line. Good passage of play.
There's Neil Bullen. He's just about to be thrown into the game with Lumumba subbed out, as Nick Maxwell just told us. Cripps, here's an opportunity. Feeds the ball wide. Well, he is suddenly finding this game pretty easy, the youngster. He has been outstanding for the Blues this year in an otherwise pretty bleak season. Patrick Cripps, seemingly a 2-horse race for the rising star. Nick Revolt, Lee Matthews gave Jesse Hogan the nod. Cripps almost became the ruckman. Carazzo into the square, the ball flies. Watts couldn't quite complete the deal. Cross now to Watts, over the top. Well, here is Neil Bullen, fresh on the ground, just tumbles it forward. Howe. Now Neil Bullen again. 2 Blues on the outer side. For once, the Demons get a kind bounce. Brayshaw to McDonald. Low ball, again low percentage into the middle. Curnow beats Hogan to it. Clever little slap. This time to Jamison. He just cruises away from a couple of Demons, then runs into Harms. Somehow got it to Cripps. Cripps to Cruiser. Cruiser to 50. Cruiser, he's gone all the way. He's had a big afternoon already. He's got 3. He's had the ball 12 times already. Only Curnow and Tutt and Murphy have had it more times, but no one on the ground has kicked more goals. Walker's got 3-1. Cruiser's got 3 straight.
You want everything from your ruckman. You clearly want them to do well in the hit-outs, but the ability to get the ball around the ground, Cruiser is dominating in that particular function. Look at this. You see him in the background. I mean, Gawn is a reasonably mobile, tall player. But Cruiser, when you got your ruckman running through the 50-metre arc and kicking a goal, it's a great effort.
Well, that's what we've been talking about, isn't it? That's what the expectation's been all about. Gawn fighting back here. Now, they're scoreless in this term, the D's. They haven't had a scoreless term since 2013. Do they get a chance here with a minute to play? Well, they got a chance. Dave just telling us they have scored a behind in this term. So, chance now for their first goal. Hard to believe when Grimes kicked that goal. And since then, all of the goals. Incredible, isn't it? 9 in a row. So Dawes, who's had a not particularly fruitful afternoon, that's better. So with 26 seconds left on the clock, finally their first goal of the second term.
It's interesting, the target, I think it was their cheer squad had a target up between the goals. I thought that was interesting. Just the high tackle, he just didn't quite control. Big man when you're trying to tackle it. It looks like he hurt his knee or felt something on the way through.
Any cramp?
No, it wouldn't be cramp, I don't think, this early, but he looks like he's okay anyway.
I like that idea.
Big target
behind the goals.
Should get all the cheer squad should have their own target.
Get onto that one.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be much good for your confidence when you think the cheer squad needs to give you a hand. So the Blues have been dominant. The Demons get the last, perhaps, of the first half. Walker, then Grimes, then 9 in a row to the Blues. Dawes gets his first of the afternoon, and a 53-point margin is now 47. Cripps again with hands on the football. Everett, he's been a lively target in this first half. Neil Bullen, there's a chance for Garlett, but time will beat the Demons. Unless something remarkable changes, so will the Blues. 10 goals to 2. And a 47-point lead at half-time. Garlett hasn't seen too much of it. Menzel has been off and he has had his shoulder taped. But Matty Cruiser has been an excitement machine in the first half. 12 touches, 3 straight.
Cruiser has been a huge influence over this game, so they go at it again, make it 10 hit-outs now. Murphy ran onto it, and then Viney, a high ball. And Hogan, a long way from home, was chasing it. It never got that far, and Vince was taken without the footy.
No, Melbourne, holding man. Straight to. Come back.
So Vince quickly to Grimes, who started the goal scoring off for the Demons this afternoon. He was up forward at the time, quickly shuffled back, kicked towards Dawes, who just waited for it to bounce. Now Watts, and the ball over the line. So, gents, what are you looking to change in this second half from the Demons?
Well, the D's have changed their midfield makeup. Bernie Vince has gone to half back and Nathan Jones has gone to half forward. You look at Carlton's mids, they're 2 prime movers, Murphy and Cripps 14 and 13 in the first half compared to Jones and Vince, just a 5 each.
Well, Jones on cue quickly to full forward, but Rowe again gets the better of Dawes.
They've also thrown Garland forward as well to try and get some more strength up in the forward line.
If you're trying to find a positive for the Demons in the last couple of weeks, their third term against the Dogs last week, outstanding. They kept the Dogs goalless. They kicked 5 themselves. The only drama was they trailed by 73 at half-time. The margin right now 47. You can understand seeing the first half, Lee, why they played for the Matty Cruiser Cup a few years ago.
Yeah, yes. Well, Melbourne have had some good games this year, but certainly the last fortnight it's not anywhere near that vein, and trying to find a way back from here, a long way back.
Quick scoop from Murphy, terrific. Got legged in the end by Newton, then quickly up to his feet. Cruiser involved again, this time to Doherty. Long ball to a one-on-one. Walker, he's already got 3 for the afternoon. Gets away from Howe. Howe continues just to hassle and be annoying. In the end, he does enough. Walker, though, ends up with the footy tripped. He'll go back and try and kick a fourth. So all going the way of the Blues this afternoon. Walker got the first.
Yep.
In the first, you can get the first of the second half. You got 4 straight last week. This for 4-1 this afternoon. Got his first in the first minute of the game. His 4th early in the third. The Blues skip out to 53 points. There looks very little resistance right now from the Demons outfit.
No, it is. It's been a really disappointing day for Melbourne. I mean, this is where the inner fight has to come out from individual players in a way. I guess we've seen it quite often. We've seen a few games this weekend where one side's got down and been completely creamed because the fight has evaporated the longer the game's gone.
So here's the head-to-head matchup, Nick, between the two big men, Cruiser and Gawn. 3 goals. That bottom line generally sways it one way or the other.
And the ball in hand that Cruiser is getting, whereas Gawn is not.
Gawn won that one down. Newton, Viney, then they farmed the ball out, and eventually Cross and Vince ended up with Watts, a little careless. Watts goes back, realising his error, and ties it up.
The pure hit-outs can be a little bit deceiving too. It's a bit of a misleading stat. It's the hit-outs to advantage that really count, and they're both pretty even in that regard.
So they have another go at it again. Watts was 3rd man up. Neil Bullen over the footy. Wiley in there as well.
The hit-outs, and certainly the hit-outs to advantage, that because champions stack do you do your own? Does the club coaches do their own to just make them, I guess, even more accurate?
Yeah, they do, and there's certainly a correlation between hit-outs to advantage and centre bounce wins and clearance wins, so that's the one that really counts.
That one was a hit-out to advantage. It was beautifully done down to Newton, but Jamison just peeling off when the long ball came in from Garland. And they're away here again, the Blues. Doherty farming the ball out. Cripps just looks the business. Cripps, doesn't he? The right size, the right movements. And Everett, who's had a pretty good day aerially. And that one of the easier marking attempts he went for, through the hands.
We said coming in we're looking forward to the rising stars do battle. Cripps, 15 disposals and a goal. Jesse Hogan seen the ball a couple of times for just the 1 minor score. Neil Bullen caught on the back foot, got the kick away beautifully, and then though to Dawes inside, now to Stretch takes on Boakhurst. Now he thumps the ball long. Here's Hogan again. He might just end up with a football here. Got rid of Rowe. Ball settles. Takes on Rowe again. Loses a football. Holding the ball, the call. No! Hogan a free kick.
And then you jumped into ground.
Wow.
He got rid of it and then you threw into ground.
Yeah, but how did he get rid of it?
That's a bad decision.
He didn't hand pass it, did he? That wasn't one of those sneaky little handball. He looked like it just was an incorrect disposal.
We've noticed,
very lucky to get that one.
We've noticed the 4 umpires now, though.
Yeah, well, we know one of the 4 anyway.
He's kicked a goal in all of his 17 games so far, searching for his first this afternoon. Perhaps a little justice. He's getting plenty of support from the Carlton fans over the fence.
As you know, I'm very much for the ball player beat the tackler, but even I thought that was of holding the ball.
He just got it wrong, I think, the umpire. Nick Foot. So away quickly, Doherty. That was a good mark and took off. Their intent to move the ball quickly has been a real feature of the Blues this afternoon. Fantastic gather. Walker got it from Everett. He gets it back. He used Wiley and comes out to Viney. Okay. They couldn't tie it in the end. So Viney's kick, well, he had absolutely nothing to go to. So Dick just had to wade over the footy. Tui was there to assist, and luckily he was. Wiley again getting back, or was it Buckley? It was. So through he comes Tui. Thumping kick. Caught at the back. Tough one for Boakhurst. Still in this. Newton's there. Also Bell keeps it in. Opens up the angle, then comes backwards. Not the required journey. Play on's the call. They've all heard it. Should be holding the ball.
No, it's never holding the ball.
There is.
The umpire. No, probably, I agree with you. It should be, but the umpires always give the benefit of the doubt to the holding the ball to those kind of kicks that are deemed to be not long enough.
Gawn wins the tap again, but the Blues win the football. Curnow back to Tui to the top of the square. Watson. Menzel out the back waiting. Walker. Vince got the footy, tackled immediately, taken to ground. So Bernie just his 8th disposal for the afternoon.
3 metres, Andrew. Thank you.
7th now for Jones. So the usual suspects for the Demons, unusually quiet.
Yes, that's a very low disposal game. He's done a really good job, Carazzo. They haven't had a lot of the ball, Melbourne, admittedly, but certainly Jones hasn't been the normal ball winner he has been and usually is.
9 minutes into the third term. Hogan without a goal, 3 touches. And Vince and Jones, 8 and 7 respectively. All adds up to a grim afternoon. Blues by 52, 11-2, plays 2-4.
So tossed in on the wing. McDonald up in front against Rowe. He goes again here. Cripps over the footy. So McDonald doing the ruck work. Cripps is one of the midfielders, and I reckon Cripps has got him covered for centimetres. And in the end, Cripps goes up, third man up, as if to prove the point. Grimes got it backwards from Viney. Now Vince. And that's better to Mitchie. And Grimes keeps running. So on the wing, the kick down towards half forward. Hogan in front. Jamison well done. Dick did well. Sweeping handball backwards. They controlled that nicely. Boakhurst to Jack. And then McDonald just getting across half-back, forming a bit of a wall, the D's. But again, frustration on his face. Just nothing to kick to. Neil Bullen did well. He just broke at the right moment. Kick's terrible. Rowe, Cripps. Counter-attack is on now. Watson, Cripps again. He just ran out of room. So did pretty well, McDonald, just to hold him up. And this hasn't been a minute that goes into the time capsule. Murphy got better ideas now. He used Jamison. He kicked long, and then again Viney, the fist, just coming over and knocking it out.
One of the things about Carlton today, they've had roughly 2 kicks to 1 handball, so they've been prepared actually to kick the ball forward under pressure. When they got into little handball mode that last 30 seconds, when they're just trying to maintain possession rather than let's get the ball forward, and if we're going to defend, we'll defend from 50 metres upfield.
Boakhurst will give to Wiley. Wiley, well, I don't know whether he wanted Curnow or Tutt, found the latter. He's turned the ball over. Here go the Demons through the middle. That wasn't long-lived. Harms caught immediately. Curnow. He's got a running Menzel. Salem did well. Close, got a fist to the football. Needs to continue to keep it on in front. Not a great effort from Salem. Too easily pushed off the ball. Watson had it, lost it. That pretty much summed up the afternoon. Salem run down. The Blues wanted the footy more. It's Harms and Buckley just having a chat to each other. In the end, Cross went hard at the football. Little flick on. McDonald to be hurt initially. Cruiser ends up with the football. Almost gifts it to Carazzo. He's with Vince.
Got great strength over the football, Cripps, hasn't he? When there's a body that sort of he can bounce off them, he's got such strong legs, strong balance, so he doesn't get knocked off the footy at all.
Brayshaw didn't have too much wriggle room there. Nick, when you look at these two sides as an opposition player, who do you look at as the stronger list? You've lost a couple of times.
I think Melbourne have spent longer at the draft than Carlton and been a lot more, I suppose, deliberate in their recruiting of young players. So I still think long term they've got a lot of players on their list with more upside. Guys like Petracca who haven't even taken the field yet. Brayshaw's going to be a good player for a long time. Hogan we've spoken about ad nauseum. So I think the core is there for a bright future for the D's.
Jones did well that time to free the arms to Harms. Vince Harms again, same spot. He's been nailed a few times there. Grimes did well though, and they can keep moving it forward. Billy Stretch drives it to the pocket. Garland not quite. Hasn't had a disposal yet this afternoon. One mark, 2 tackles, make it 3 tackles now. Maybe he can get a touch here. Stretch sends it down towards Gawn, reaching over the back doors. No mark, it was touched in front by Tutt, who gives it away to Jack. Wiley, Tutt came again. Curnow, good tackle, Grimes, got him.
Boys, Murphy's dislocated his left shoulder. They've taken him straight down the rooms. It's completely out, so they can't get it back in at the moment.
Yeah, you mentioned Garland before, though he hasn't had a disposal. He had a mark but no disposal. I'm trying to think.
It was just before half-time. He was running down the wing and didn't quite get the kick off in time.
Okay. When you know you're having a bad day when the siren boots the kick.
Well, they needed that. As it got the carry, should have everything. Well done. Demons get their third, and the skipper delivers it.
They did kick 5 goals in the third term last week, and they kept the Western Bulldogs relatively quiet. Murphy.
Oh, yeah. It's going to show how the joint can be jolted out. This is the Mark Murphy one again. He lifts the elbow and you see the shoulder joint just pops out. It's so easy, it's so simple, didn't it?
He's had his problems with shoulders. He missed in his first year with a shoulder, and I think ran into Dangerfield in 2012 and missed games. So, ugly incident.
Gee, he was calm, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It looked terrible, didn't it? Have you done your shoulder before, Nick?
I've broken the collarbone. I've never popped it out, though.
Sorry to ask. Bell through the middle, has a bounce, smothered cleverly by Brayshaw. That was really good. He stood up and then got the rebound ball. Long one down to Dawes, who marks. So suddenly a little bit of spark about the D's football. And this is certainly kickable for the former Magpie.
He just turned the ball over badly, then Bally, he decided just to take him on, really, but then just held on to the ball a fraction too long, and that turnover is where the bounce rebound came to Dawes.
Dawes, Grimes and Jones, their only goal scorers this afternoon, to become their first multiple. Looks like it's started right, it drifted back, Cruiser got up, knocked the ball over for a behind.
Boys, as expected down there, Mark Murphy's out of the game with that shoulder injury. Dave Allard comes on now.
Thanks, Nick. Blues quickly away. Buckley a fumble. Jones just sheepdogs Buckley, keeps him hemmed in against the boundary line. Then Walker. I thought he got the best of Howe, but not illegally. The umpire said he manhandled without the football, so Howe quickly on to Dawes. Gawn has the height advantage, front of the pack. Jacks from behind. Gawn looks frustrated.
Good to see defenders who got the third up jump and have a crack at the mark. Don't try and spoil. Get 2 hands to it and mark it. Good work.
So Jacks to McDonald to Brayshaw. And now it all looks congested forward for Brayshaw. Happy to bring it wide to McDonald. Still an ugly look inside 50. Who can pluck it from the air? Jacks again goes up high. Harms went to space. Viney was there, and then the ball just trickled away. Jones got hold of it. Garlett hasn't seen too much of it. Can't get the major Jamison on the last line. So just his first disposal of the afternoon.
Well, they're winning the quarter home. There's something. 1-3 to 1-1.
Small steps.
I wonder if Tui might go long here. Been held up a long time. He goes longish. Doherty came with a run, but he got Grimes high.
Lock there now. Come back on. Where you are.
So Grimes up to 20 disposals now. He's been one of the best. Hogan in front. Held his ground, just couldn't keep the hands up. Cripps did well. Quickly. Simpson's kick, not good though. And Brayshaw marks. 45 out now. His eyes were darting sideways straight away, which suggests he's not that comfortable with the distance. And again, more lateral movement. Well, he would be a good poker player because that was obvious to everyone.
Will we see a torp here?
Yeah, he'd make the distance if he got onto it, wouldn't he? I wonder if he'll have a crack at it. Yeah, I think he might.
He's pointed to the goals like Tom Berenger in Major League.
Babe Ruth.
He had the second signal, which I think caught everyone. Much more subtle, I must say, than Brayshaw. It was the little hand down low, Hame.
Well, Brayshaw would have been kicking the ball from about the 50-metre line, and most players, if they make reasonable contact, can do the 50+. So, yeah, but he didn't have the confidence to have a crack.
Mark Murphy inside the Carlton rooms. His day is done with a dislocated shoulder. Simpson, Garlett applying the pressure. Jack under pressure. Jamison gets it over the line. That'll do.
His afternoon's done, Nick. I wonder whether his season's done, Mark Murphy.
Oh, you'd think if there was any doubt, they'd just put him on ice for the rest of the year. He's far too important to them long term to...
Yep. The thing is, with the dislocated shoulders, it's a question of what damage has been done on the way out and the way back in, and whether nature itself will just heal it in a week or two.
So maybe they finished their season without the option of Judd, Gibbs, Murphy, Henderson. It has been a grind season 2015 for the Blues. Malthouse disappeared early. Hard to think all of those things could go so horribly wrong in one year. And right now they sit in 18th, trying to avoid the wooden spoon for the 4th time in their history.
McDonald trying harder, that's for sure. Rowe caught behind Hogan, and Hogan. So the sequence, Hame, is it under some threat? Jesse Hogan. He needs a goal to become one of only 23 players to kick a goal in each of his first 18 games. We've kept the running tally, Lee.
Who's kicked the most again?
Might have been Mark Jackson.
Okay.
Yep, 79 in a row.
Well done, the newcomer right across it. Newton gives it to Mitchie. Good kick to a centering spot. Gone. Now Rowe in a bit of trouble here, holding the ball. Good tackle, Jack Watts. Two Demons in a bit of pain. Gone down. Newton slow to get up. They had some flyers, didn't they? They had Newton flying, they had Hogan flying, and this man with a bit of height laid the good tackle. So this, an opportunity here for the Demons to kick their second goal of the term. Carlton 1-1 for the third quarter. And Jack Watts kicks his first.
Well, they're certainly playing better, Melbourne. Whether they've got the time and the effort to be able to overcome the deficit, they've got to kick 6 or 7 goals in the last quarter. But just at the moment, Carlton have stopped their tracks a little bit, and Melbourne are now matching the intensity, I guess, to use that term, around the footy. They look like they're going in as hard and as putting as much into the game as Carlton are. So a lot of Melbourne players flying at the footy, wasn't there? So just a little bit unlucky. Rowe just couldn't quite get rid of the footy. He's been good, Rowe, though. He's mainly, I think, had the Hogan match-up for most of the day.
So the Demons, after being dismounted in the first half, 3 of the last 4 goals, back-to-back goals to the captain and Watts.
They finally got that reward, boys. It's 11-4 inside 50s for the quarter, so they've had plenty of opportunities.
47-point margin at half-time, 38 now.
Can you cross?
Well, Dawes got in the right spot in the end. Flew, had it, everything was right, just couldn't quite grab hold of the football. Here's a chance. Newton onto the left boot. Can they make it 3 in a row? They can. Back to 32 points, and they've got 4 of the last 5.
It's almost identical to what we saw last week in the third quarter.
Bulldogs, they were even further behind the Bulldogs, of course, but they had a pretty good third quarter and started to get a sniff to be in the ballpark of being able to overcome what was a big deficit. They've got a smaller deficit today, and they certainly haven't got the quality opposition that they're trailing. So just at the moment, Melbourne have got some chance in this game.
Well, they've just started to win contests, so winning it out of the middle, getting it forward. They've been attacking the dangerous area in the forward 50 as well. Probably drew a bit wide in the first half, but no surprise, you attack that 30 metres out straight in front of goal, and more often than not, good things happen.
Last 8 inside 50s have been the Demons' way. Cruiser not in the ruck too, which has made a bit of a difference. Tutt fires the football back a long way. Boakhurst, Bell. It's clearing kick towards half forward. And they just watch it roll over. It's Jack's across half back, not Boakhurst. Jack's, hard name to say, particularly when he gets hit.
McDonald doing the ruck work. Mitchie held by Wiley. McDonald now doing the roving. Little one to cross to Hogan at half-back. And now Salem. Dick runs into Dawes. Garlett cruises on by. Couldn't get a boot 2 ball. Well done, Tui. To Jamison, now to Simpson. Can't believe how much time he's got. Puts it to where he'd like Jacks to be. He runs onto the football. And now in the Everett direction. He's got a space on Garland. Everett, he too has time. And he delivers well to Ellard. Mark or push or mark. Vince called back.
Cruz has come in off ball. He's got a match up on Viney.
We'll be praying he kicks it in that direction. If Viney's the man he's got to beat, he's got a huge differential. Almost took it at full stretch. Now Cruiser to the top of the square. No one at home. Hogan at full back. Now Howe. And now Watts. Neil Bullen. The last 3 goals of the afternoon to Melbourne after Walker got the first of the third term. That pushed it out to 53 points. They've whittled that lead back to 32. Cross. Garland, man on the overlap if he's quick, finds him now. Suddenly the Demons through Salem are looking more dangerous. Dawes is on the lead. He doubles back, ignored. Gawn. He should be the target. He's all alone at full forward. He's got about 3 metres height advantage on the next best blue. Gawn flies, didn't get his arms out to the ball. Carazzo misses the target. Garlett under pressure immediately. Held too long. Piss for 4 in a row.
Boy, hasn't this game turned? Now it's Carlton that are looking panicky and just reactive. Not like they were in that first half.
And no Murphy, so I wonder if they might get a bit shaky here. To bring the margin under 30 points, Garlett, just his second disposal coming up home.
He's been a little yippy from set shots this year. 8 goals, 12. This distance has worried him. Not there, not now. 4 in a row. We're back to just 26 points. Well, you didn't see this coming at half-time, given what we'd seen. One stage there was 9 goals in a row. Dawes got one late in the second half. Walker got the first of the third term. Jones, Watts, Newton, Garlett. And many of those in the absence of the Blues skipper.
So there's the Murphy incident, and since Murphy's left the ground, Lee, 3 goals for the Demons.
Yeah, Melbourne were starting to come, but that certainly helped them enormously that one of Carlton's very best and the captain is now off the field.
5 goals to nothing last week in the third quarter. 4-4 to 1-1 here, and here they come again with a minute 45 on the clock. Garlett for 2 in a row. Didn't win the free. He won the footy, though. More important, back to the line. Brayshaw flew it, went through the hands. 25 points. A minute 33 to play.
Carlton's kicking efficiency really dropped off this quarter, down to 56%. 3 of the 4 Melbourne goals in the quarter have come from turnovers.
11-3 to 6-8. 14 scoring shots each. Blues by 25. Last 4 goals of the afternoon to the Demons. Early in this term was the Blues by 53.
Well, in the first half, Carlton was stretching the field. They were making Melbourne defend the entire field. Now you can see how congested it's become. It tends to happen when you're under the pump a little bit. You get more desperate. You try to get more players around the ball. You think they'd be better suited to getting back to what they did in the first half, the Blues.
Must be a real skill, Nick, to keep things open when your senses tell you to get around the football and make them more congested.
Yeah, I think identifying it is a really difficult thing. Once you identify it, it's not too hard to fix. You just get back to playing the way you've trained all pre-season and all year. So just takes a leader to be able to recognise what's happening out there.
Bell, a tackle on Viney, terrific.
Of course, Mark Murphy's not on the ground.
Thanks, Tom.
Your natural instinct is, I'll go and help, I'll go and help. But the best outcome is stay away and let the midfielders do their thing. Don't congest the area, give them space. Viney almost intercepted Cripps. He was quick enough to kick it out of the air. In the end, Harms gets to the fall of the ball. Buckley, desperate, brilliant. Bell, the tackle from Salem, didn't stick. Curnow, inside. Here's Everett. He's offline.
He certainly looks like the one in tight Cripps that ends up coming up with the footy. He's not going to get every one of them, of course, but he's the one who now looks, even at 20 years of age, the key Carlton midfielder.
Well, they've had a great turn. Could they run the field and get a late one? 25 seconds left on the clock. Ball at midfield now. So here we go. Hogan. Jones cruising past. Salem is on. He can go long. 17 seconds left on the clock. He takes them on. He has a bounce. He steadies. He shaves the post. Oh, Paul Roos, that's enough for him. Up he goes and down. 7 seconds left on the clock. Curnow's got the footy. So it's a 4-goal ball game with no Mark Murphy in this last quarter. Watson, good mark on the siren. And I think it's fair to say, given that man's situation and what we saw in this third term, 4-6 to 1-1 Melbourne's way, I don't think this game is over yet. We've got a good last quarter of footy coming. 11-3, 6-9, the Blues by 4 goals. So final term about to get underway. Let's see how much fight there is in these Demons. Cruiser back in the middle makes a big difference, that's for sure. Newton, though, sends it long inside 50. Jack, important spoil. Tui hit it hard. Jones hit him hard. Tui just got the handball away. Dangerous ball and the quick kick bouncing. It's all right to Cross from Doherty. Cross is going to get it back here. There's a long way from home. Lyndon Dunn. Left boot high, marking contest. Newt up in front. Hogan, she nearly brought that in. He's a interesting marking player, isn't he? He often see him fly with the one and then get the second hand there. And again, he nearly looked like he could bring that in.
So goalless so far this afternoon. Chance for Viney. Here's gone. Quick start the Demons. 5 in a row now. And here they come. Back to 18 points. 11-3 to 7-9. And what looked a hopeless situation late in the second term, suddenly looks like a possible win. Carlton have stopped, and the Demons suddenly full of energy. Quick thinking by the big man. His first of the afternoon.
It was just a flurry of possessions in the deep forward area, but Gawn got the goal. Yes, at the moment you're looking around the ground if you're a Carlton supporter, and who the hell, let's see the last 10 scores. Who might be able to just turn the tide of what really looks like an avalanche coming their way?
Last 10 scores, 5 of them goals. It's back to 18 points.
Boys, Jamison's back on the bench. He's sitting there talking to the doctor, still a bit unsure about that jaw injury.
So that was the incident there. Top of the 50. Cripps trying to get his way through. Wiley got a half-distance kick away, but it's coming back the other way. And Gawn, the man of the moment, he's done well here, really well. He needs to handball, and he did. Swept it wide for Hogan. It was Salem who booted the ball down in that direction. And Garland, well, he's been quiet for most of the afternoon against his old team. And this is a situation I reckon he'd be licking his lips right here.
2 metres, mate.
Looks like he's going to try and do the drop punt rather than cross the body. That's the technique he looks like he's going to use.
Blues fans used to seeing him do this on countless occasions in navy blue. Can he do it in the red? No. They're coming though, that's for sure.
Don't see many players go with that approach anymore from that sort of angle, Lee.
I guess he was going to have to be kicking it maybe 30, 35 metres across his body. Maybe the distance he thought better kick the straight drop punt.
Well, Cross just lost his feet. Simpson, the quick gather. Well, suddenly that's what it's been like for the Blues in the last 20 minutes or so. Missing targets and gifting the ball back. So how quickly to Dunn, just by hand, then the long ball inside 50. Here's a chance. The big man at the front, Hogan, not quite. In the end, Rowe got hold of the footy, given very little time.
Got a kick. Got a kick, guys.
No, it's a good decision from the umpire that
Chase your side.
he didn't have much alternative. Let it drop onto the boot.
Cruiser, McDonald, the second ruckman for the Demons this afternoon, giving Gawn a bit of a rest.
Come on.
Then the Blues end up with a football. Tut. Ellard started as a sub. Grimes got fist to ball. Second effort from Grimes, almost good. Cripps, who's had so much of the footy, gives it off to Cruiser. Now to Bell, now to Ellard. Now Walker and Howe. Walker, how much pace has the old body got? Well, he didn't get an opportunity to run. Vince sweeps from half-back into the hands of Grimes.
He's fresh, Allard. He should have just taken off with the footy a little bit and backed this fact that he can run into that space.
Dunn to Howe to Watts. Now over the top, Salem. He's got a break, had to wait a long time. Lucky in the end because the Blues are away. 2 at the fall of the ball. Salem gets the free kick, and the Demons on 3 occasions trailed by 53. Here's an opportunity to bridge a 17-point lead. Jones, back it comes. Billy Stretch. He's not quite got the journey. Hogan front spot. Gawn was there too. Well, all amounts to nothing. You thought it was going to amount to more.
They're fighting each other in the air, Gawn and Hogan at the moment. They've basically just got the 2 really big guys front of the goal square. They're competing for the mark.
Twice they've done that, isn't it? 2 clear times, and there's been a couple of others. Cruiser worked his way in front, wasn't touched, and it rolls over the line. So since Murphy went off the ground, 4 goals, 6 to no score from the Blues, and 11 inside 50s to 2. The Demons have dominated, so the skipper leaving the ground. It's had a dramatic impact over the Carlton outfit. Watts, that was clever, opening it up for Newton. He's wrapped up and won't be able to get away from Doherty.
You can just tell the sense of the game. They're far more proactive. 3rd up at the stoppage now, Melbourne, trying to get a little bit more creative.
So McDonald had a couple to beat. Did Cruiser. Now we've got a whistle here.
Back to him, back around.
It's going Melbourne's way. Neil Bullen with a free kick. So a goal here. And they're within 11 points. High ball. Again up in front. Hogan couldn't mark. Curnow taken front on. Chance now. Stretch. He lost the footy. It's still in there. Tut's got it. Up it'll come again.
Boys, you spoke of the captain, Mark Murphy, being out of the game. Jamison's the vice-captain. He's still off the ground. He's gone back down the rooms again.
Cruiser knocks it down. Wanted Simpson in the end. The skipper, Nathan Jones, got between Simpson and the ball. Nick Revolt, Lee Matthews, pick a winner.
You'd have to pick Melbourne the way they're going. Cruiser's going to be critical, I reckon, if Carlton to hang on. He has to take control a bit round there.
Simpson almost got boot to ball, then just pulled off the footy by Newton.
There's still plenty of time to go home. I think 2 down on the bench, deep into the last quarter. That'll come into play.
Maxi.
I think the D's with the momentum and Jamison off.
Wiley Jones, they battle for the ball. Jones, well done, got the ball away in the end. Brayshaw, front of the square. Gawn just held a long time by Matthew Dick. See Gawn talking to the umpire, feeling as though he may have got a free kick. Here's Cruiser, front spot, went for distance, didn't hit it as he would have liked. Wiley, tunnel ball to Simpson.
So who needs to stand up for the Blues here, Lee?
Well, certainly Cruiser, Tui, Simpson. I mean, Cripps is a good player. He used to be the one playing well, but the leaders, that's the group probably.
So Newton, Stretch, and has that come off a boot from Simpson? Interesting there. So 4 field umpires today, and one of the field umpires almost outside the field of play. That is what 4 field umpires gives you. It gives almost complete coverage to the stoppage. Well done, Cripps. He got it cleverly to Simpson. Carazzo. So some experienced players standing up there. And then Ellard's kicked down the line for Menzel. Salem. Menzel kept it in. He's being held. Well done, Troy Menzel. So not only did he gain 30 metres, he retains possession by winning the free kick. This would be a goal completely against the run of play, but it's exactly what the Blues need. Tut's got it. Got it from Curnow. High ball now inside 50. There's no mark. Lyndon Dunn. Handball to a really dangerous position. Watts didn't know too much about it. Not his fault. And luckily it ricochets back into the congestion and didn't come out.
This is Carlton's chance to turn the flow. If you just can get that one goal to just re-energise your own team, now they've got the chance. Now they're in position.
The last 5 goals to the Demons, 6 of the last 7. Here's Cripps, almost got boot to ball. Buckley, Wiley, a fumble, quickly, hurried ball, offline. 3-goal ball game.
There's Bernie Vince view. He looks down the MCG. They've done all the attacking. Lyndon Dunn, it's a dangerous kick. It had just enough height on it. David Ellard, 177 centimetres. Another 3, and I reckon he had a handle on that ball. Lyndon Dunn drives it towards the wing. Not an easy one for Salem, so we get another look at that pairing, although Brayshaw arrives brilliantly, keeps the footy in front of him, then wins it, then hands it off to Salem. Magnificent, deserves a goal. Stretch inside, Neil Bullen, handball for Davey, missed it. Stretch again, held up for the moment by Curnow. Exciting footy, just not the composure at the very end.
It has now. We always wondered about when he came to this game because both sides down the bottom of the ladder struggling, but you got a contest now, and that's what we want when we come to the football the most, the fact there's some real tension in the air as we get into this final stage of the game.
Cripps again getting so much of the football to Simpson. So to Everett, they're a long way from home, the Blues. Everett lively early in this match. Comes back inside, now to Menzel.
He's an outstanding clearance player, Cripps. He's already had the 8 touches in this last quarter, 7 contested and 3 clearances. Might have to think about changing our pick lead.
25 disposals for the afternoon for Cripps. That last behind to Wiley, the first score for the Blues in 27 minutes. 5 goals, 6 to the Demons in between Blues scores. Rowe Big pack forms in front of us on the broadcast site. Harms got hold of the footy, couldn't quite get rid of it as he would have liked. So still so much time. Only 3 goals separates the Blues and the Demons. 53 points the margin early in the 3rd term. Murphy done for the afternoon, so too Lumumba. Now Jones, he's got a defender that's drifted down in McDonald, and now Hogan's run out with Rowe. He's screaming for the ball. McDonald's taking his time, might go in that direction now. Caught behind Hogan, big fly, not quite. Chance for Viney, went for Mitchie, missed him. Tui inside, well done. Buckley now, a one-on-one. Outer side, Boakhurst and Grimes.
Boakhurst has got it. He's got a player breaking for him. He's going to pop it over the top. So Curnow now can keep running, but he doesn't. Grimes did well, good cover. And the Blues pushing forward, the D's going with them. Still no goal for Hogan. So Carazzo drives it down the line. Gawn comes out the back. Boakhurst. Here's a chance for the Blues. He squares it up. Cripps, good mark, and an even better kick.
Isn't it amazing who bobs up on the end of the kick? I mean, that was really one on the southern side, flanked by Carlton. Cruz had popped it over, but Cripps just gets on the end of it. If he's not winning the ball in the middle, he's just reading the ball where the ball's going to go. Lovely centering kick by Boakhurst. That set it up.
So 5-12 this season. And this about as important as any of them.
Melbourne have stabilised the last few minutes in general play, but now they've got to get the goal. Again, just to get that little bit of energy boost that results.
It's a beautiful kick from Boakhurst to Cripps. So it's a massive goal. He kicks it. It's back to 4 goals. Loves it. Love the reaction. Blues not done with yet.
When we were talking before the game about it, who would we take, or the rising star out of Cripps and Hogan, it was only because Hogan's a key position player. We know, not necessarily is he better at the moment. It's just key position players are harder to get. That's because Cripps has played so well today. We're just sort of trying to, protect ourselves.
Today, 26 disposals, 2 goals. Hogan, who's tried hard, flown for a lot, but just hasn't been able to clunk those marks today. Just 2 behinds.
He still looks like the guy that might be able to bob up and kick a couple Hogan at the other end. So let's not go too early on Cripps.
So the Blues, they've had the Demons on the ropes a couple of times. They haven't been able to knock them out. What can the Demons find now? They had kicked 6 of the previous 7 goals before the Cripps goal, and that gets it back out to 24 points. Demons need to find an answer. Jones fires it inside 50. Hogan's about the place. Bell 2. Harms ran past the football. Doherty a little toe poke. Ellard started in the sub-vest. Tackled by Gawn. In the back, the call. Relief for the Blues.
Clear out, guys. Move it on. Play on. Play on.
So we're just ticking into the last 10 minutes of this game, and the Blues seem to have found a second win. Bell, long ball forward. Bernie Vince read it well. The bounce favoured him. Back it goes by hand to Grimes. Over the top to Salem. Now to Hogan. No major yet this afternoon. Dangerous ball. Now to Stretch and to Newton, who's got a paddock to run into. He'll take a bounce, maybe a second. He can continue just to roll along. Watson closes. He took a long time, too long in the end. His kick impeded and into the arms of Tutt.
What a great chase by Watson. He never gave it up.
Boys, Jamison's certainly done for the day. They've been turning people away from the bench. Now Cruz is limping to the bench as well. So trouble for Carlton down here with rotations.
The walking wounded the Blues. Cruz up. Just making his way very gingerly. So touch high ball. Buckley. Just his 13th disposal coming up. He gets around Jones. Takes them on here. This is exciting from the Blues. Walker. Good mark in front. Howe. Plays on quickly to Watts. So they've got to run it now. They've got to take risks and they've got to take it on. There's no holding back. Neil Bullen drives it down towards Dawes. He's got Jacks to beat. He wins the free kick. Maybe 50, no. There's Matty Cruiser getting that hamstring stretched. High ball, caught at the back. Not quite Hogan.
One of those days,
he's got his hands to it a lot today, Lee, and hasn't been able to complete the Mark II. Great clearing kick.
Drillard. So Hogan's looked dangerous. He's looked lively, but he is 2 behinds only next to his name this afternoon. Cripps, outstanding. Buckley, he's been lively too. Terrific moments ago, taking on the Demons. They came at him one after another. Tui back to Tutt. Time continues to tick. A 24-point lead seems almost enough. But as Nick Maxwell said, they are short on numbers right now. Cruiser, he looks to be in trouble. Murphy's done for the afternoon. Jamison too. Salem caught with a football. Vince looks at Simpson. Clever tackle. McDonald on the up. Buckley steals it again like a thief in the night at halfback. Works his way and puts it into the run of Curnow. He's got one chasing him. This time it's Mitchie. Curnow inside. Menzel. Short ball. It's on. Well, Cripps, Neil Bullen and Brayshaw give support. And a hurried ball. That is a disappointing outcome for the D's. Everything needs to go right for the Demons. The Blues handed back the footy.
Brayshaw winded in that contest, I reckon. He's very slow to get moving.
That's 50.
Against Garlett.
Yeah, Garlett was trying to stop the switch inboard, but he just encroached into that 5 metres from the line of the kick protection area.
Have you noticed the interpretation has changed, Dick, with the 50s coming over the mark?
Oh, I think it's been a little bit more strict the last month or so, certainly paying a lot more. It's just part of trying to free the game up a little bit. I mean, the rules always been there, but the interpretation's clearly been enforced a lot more strongly.
So this is Matthew Dick's 4th game of senior football. He's never kicked a goal. What a time to register his first. He had plenty of power through the ball, but offline to the left-hand side. It started there and stayed there. So the Blues, their lead now 25 points with 6.5 to play. It should be enough, but they're not home yet, Haim.
No, still a little to be played in this match. As Dunn chooses himself as the first option, and then a long ball to the wing. Garland did well in the end. Got rid of Jacks over the top. Here's a chance for Newton. The Demons need a goal soon. Well, Harms's kick isn't going to do the Demons any favours. That was really poor.
Had the runners inside there. That's where you've got to bring the ball inside and open up the hole forward 50 rather than go wide and defend yourself in a way.
Hogan's going to clunk one of those, isn't he? If nothing else, send it to the top of the square.
Move it on. Play on.
Bell sets himself, so too Watson. Bell and Gawn collided, allowed Watson to slide in from the side. Around the bigger bodies. He's snuck, strong hands, back he goes, happy to keep possession and wind down a little of this clock. 5.5 minutes to play, a 25-point lead.
Play on. Play on.
So Dick, back to Jacks.
He's got it on half-back.
On the mark, man.
Quick one for Carazzo. It's his 14th disposal. Kicks in the Cripps direction. It's been a tower of strength, Cripps. He's so strong through the body. Well done, McDonald. Kick down the line and the mark taken by Dawes. So they've got to move it quickly now. No time to waste. Into the last 5 minutes of the game. Neil Bullen Used Bernie Vince. So Hogan, he gets another opportunity. Well done, Rowe. Newton was there roving. Carazzo, ditto. Tutt the clearing kick to the outer side. Boakhurst, it didn't bounce for him, but he did nicely. He anticipated where the cross handball was going to go. He played it well. Walker now in front of Grimes. Grimes just lost his footing at the wrong time, and Walker might be in here again. He kicks the ball quickly down the line. Ellard sits for him. Salem there to beat. Boakhurst kept running. We've seen him do this a few times. He bounces once, back with the flight. Everett, good mark. And if he kicks it here, it might be all over. He passes instead. Well, he was trying to pass it. He's kicked it behind.
He's on his own in the goal square, Cripps. He was the right option, but he just didn't manage the kick.
Watts to Mitchie. Nothing coming at him, so Mitchie continues to run over the top. Here's a chance for Dawes. Might use Mitchie again. Little fumble, time to gather. Long ball is on to Hogan again. The kick just not in the right spot. Gawn. Well, he just must kick this. Hogan was where the ball was, I think, intended to go. Off the right side of the boot, fell short and Gawn. Right spot, right time.
He's had one of those days, Hogan, as a key forward where he's got his hands to a stack. His teammates have tried to pull him out of his hands. He's been in good positions and the kicks haven't been great. So if you have a long career as a key forward, you'll have a few of those.
So Gawn has one and doesn't add to it.
He hasn't stopped working and trying hard, though. That's the main thing.
He keeps attacking the ball in the air, didn't he? On that break in the pack. Very rarely does the ball in his area and anyone marks it. Either he marks it or it comes to ground.
So Tui got close to the line when he kicked. And that was well done in the end by Harms, who just got across and affected the spoil on Curnow. So what do we got? 3 minutes and 7 seconds remaining. It is the, well, I was going to say walking wounded. They're the sitting wounded down there, aren't they? They are right down on their rotations in this final term. As a result, Simpson is doing the ruck work. Add that to the list of things you never thought you would see. Salem, handball backwards.
You, mate, you.
High ball from Dunn. Again, Gawn in front. Tui did well. Rowe has played well, Rowe, that's for sure. And now Menzel, will it sit for him? He couldn't quite complete the mark. It was really well done by Cross to get there and tie it up, and it'll come up on the wing.
Thanks, Daniel. Yeah, here you guys.
They seem to have withstood the barrage, the Blues. 6 of 7 goals and within striking distance, the Demons, but suddenly the surge has stopped and the Blues have found a way to hold on. Howe just threw Ellard out of the way. Blues fans wanted a free kick, won't be forthcoming. And the Blues will win for a 4th time this year. For the 3rd time under John Barker. And the Demons will walk away empty-handed.
We've seen it many times, haven't we? Melbourne just were overrunning Carlton, but Carlton fought and fought, finally got a goal, and then once that goal came, now it's just even Stevens again.
So Dawes through the middle to Watts, and then Watts over the top. He's got Jones running into space. Simpson, as always, at half-back, defending desperately. Wiley, well, crude from Walker. There'll be a free kick underneath that. I think it's Grimes. He can go back and kick it his second, but 90 seconds left on the clock. All too little, too late. 9 goals in a row to the Blues after Grimes kicked his first. Got out to 53 points. 6 of 7 to the Demons. And then 1 from Cripps sealed the Demons' fate. Just under 34,000 this afternoon at the G.
Hold Jack.
So Tui short to Doherty. Jack Schmarks. So Hogan looks like will go his first game without scoring a goal in each of his first 17. And the 18th might bring him undone. Unless Dunn. Mitchie overran it. Ellard. Howe's got it. Howe from 40. Offline.
Well, the Blues will walk away with the win. It's been a rugged old season for Carlton. John Barker will taste success again as senior coach on the day that Chris Judd was farewelled by the Blues faithful. Walker again, productive, 4 goals after 4 last week. And they'll jump off the bottom of the table. They came into the round 18th. It'll be the Lions that turn round 21 on the bottom of the ladder. But the Blues, underdogs today and undermanned at the end. But they get the 4 points.